Hello there everyone and welcome back to Mountain Blade Warband with the Between Empires mod. It's actually been about 2 months since I had played this last, and I had completely forgot about it. No one was reminding me, not that I'm trying to shift the blame, but I never actually finished this series, and I was thinking, what am I going to do in between here of doing the Serbian campaign and what we're gonna do next? And then I remembered, wait a minute, I never finished the French Between Empires campaign or give it a proper end. To remind everyone, we were constantly building up towards an invasion of the Prussians. We started the invasion, I believe I took a town, and right now we're just outside of Mainz, and we're gonna take that. But beyond taking that, I think what we're looking for really is field battles, which are more interesting. But I think we can start off getting everyone back on track by doing another siege. With that said, let's go ahead and siege our enemies. So currently I have 184 men, and we're just outside of Mainz, which is... there's a general's division here, but only the general's actually here, and there's 167 defenders with 2 prisoners, which are actually a Bavarian Jaeger and a Bavarian howitzer crew officer, which is quite interesting. I believe we moved in, and which one? I believe I took one place from them before, so I think we took Saarbrück. I think that starts off as Prussian. We're gonna take Mainz. We might push as far as Frankfurt actually, but what I'm looking at is probably going into field battles against the Prussians. I, of course, went to war with them at kind of the perfect time, because they're at war with so many other factions that immediately, almost upon me declaring war on them, they asked for peace, which is a very good sign, I would say. But enough of that. Let's go ahead and shoot some enemies. Let's see if I remember how to do this. First of all, we need to control all of these, and there we go. One thing is, I believe this was the cavalry. The cavalry needs to get drawn back. The howitzers need to be drawn up onto a high hill. And then the infantry formations need to quickly be moved into position before they all get shot down. I believe I've sent everyone to the correct positions. We're actually going to send the cavalry back here instead of having them up here. Let's see. Looks like 3rd Regiment is at a slight weird angle. So I've got the Grenadiers, and I do believe this to be the Chasseurs, the light infantry, and then the 2 infantry regiments. The 1st infantry regiment needs to come up. We've got a few losses, 3 guys around here. Their artillery shots are landing short, and ours... they're landing in the trench, but they're landing in positions where there actually isn't anyone. And here we got the Prussian troops laying down fire on us. We were waiting for the longest time not to go against the Prussians, just because they start off with breech loaders right off the start. And here we've got the German light infantry, and all the way back here we've got the German howitzers. Let's go ahead and take a look. Looks fine right now. In terms of... we've lost 5. 1 has routed and 20 wounded. The Prussians have lost 20 men dead and 13 wounded. So it's kind of almost reversed there. But we're not in a huge lead, but we are in a lead. Which is good, given the fact that we are, in fact... Oh, the first line is now retreating. Which I should take advantage of by starting to move the troops forward. So 1st and 2nd regiments going to move up. Followed by the lights and the grenadiers. Howitzers are continuously firing. I wonder what this is. -10. Does that mean their accuracy is worse? Is it because... You know what? I'm going to be bold and we're going to move the howitzers forward. We're going to bring them up together with the infantry. You can see my lines have definitely thinned out. And looks like most of the casualties are being suffered by 1st regiment. So the enemy is really targeting them compared to the other regiments. Which is kind of interesting because, say, the grenadiers, I believe the... Well, not the grenadiers, but the light infantry is definitely the better shots. And are probably inflicting more damage on the enemy. I think we're gonna see a switch here in what... in terms of casualties, that we're gonna suffer a lot more casualties now when it's the enemy light infantry that's left. Let's see, are we getting some good howitzer shots? They're not really getting to them. We shot quite a few of the German troops as they were retreating. Let's go back into 1st person. Oh, watching the sky. Yeah, we've definitely lost a lot more troops here. Still in a slight lead. I think this is time for me to actually go in and take them out. Because otherwise we won't have enough men to do an attack on the last position. Also, let's see, just quickly here, 31 artillery shots left. I might actually want to tell the artillery to hold fire. Hold your fire, and we'll wait and we'll blast the last position. Okay, the light infantry is now pulling back. Kind of important to get as many of these guys as possible. So it was just 1st half. Let's see if I can get 2nd one. So an infantry is still standing there. Howitzer crew has retreated. That guy's got an overcoat. Maybe it's their guard regiment. That's enemy artillery fire. Or it must be, because I told my artillery to hold fire. At a certain point I will get smokeless cartridges. Will make it a lot easier to fire from 1st person, but I think the campaign will be way over by then, given the rate, the technology is locked for certain certain technologies for certain countries. Do I have my revolver? Yeah. Come on, go down. There we go. Right, we've secured the 1st line, which is good. Now we just need to bring up the troops and prepare to attack the 2nd. And let's go ahead and have them march. Don't tire themselves to get into position. And get the cannons up front, get the cavalry up front. I actually lost quite a bit of cavalry. No, these are the cavalry. Cavalry is 25. Seems like we might have lost a howitzer. Let's go ahead and check. No, we haven't lost a howitzer. Oh yeah, we did. Wait, 5? I thought you can only have 4. I had 5 howitzers? I thought there was a limit that you can only have 4 of them, as I recall. But I haven't been playing this for 2 months, so Let's go ahead and take a look at how the enemy has deployed their troops. So there's a lot of the retreating troops that never actually got all the way back to the second defensive line. Instead, they're standing in the open, which should be a pretty good target for my cavalry to swoop in. Here's one with the overcoat, which I noticed, and then their cavalry is dismounted over here. Luckily for me, most of it is lancers, which will be useless to the enemy, as they won't be able to fire. And it looks pretty sparse with troops back at the defensive line over here. They do still have their bloody howitzers bombarding us. And there's the flag, so we know we're fighting the bloody Prussians. Let's go back to first person. Yeah, the troops are arrayed in good order. Let's bring them up as close as we dare, and then prepare to sally over the walls and at our foe, and hopefully blast them to bits. Gonna get the howitzers as close as I dare, and then the cavalry. I think the idea with the cavalry is I will lead it myself, or as best as I can. The idea is to get them out around here, then order them to charge, in which case they will ride out and then swing upon the enemy. Of course, before we go ahead and do that, we should make sure that I'm reloaded, and also that the infantry has made their way over the hill, and not so far away, but in a way that they will draw fire, so that the dragoons do not ride straight into the fire. Also, dragoons, equip their swords, good. Howitzers ready. That's good. Let's go ahead and bring the troops over the into the line of fire of the enemy. I'm gonna tell them to run. Gonna get those two to come in first before I send up the lights and the grenadiers. Okay, so now they're up, and we need to get the howitzers up. Howitzers should also, at this point, fire at will. And with that, and as we've started the firing, it seems like everyone's in pretty good position. The cavalry will now move through, and we'll have them ride slowly, and then we'll switch. Let's see. Cavalry will start off riding slowly, and then I'll order them to charge here. Sound the call. Charge. Keep up the fire! A lot of the dragoons got stuck there. Where are you going? They're running into our troops. I think it's time to retreat the cavalry before they get absolutely murdered. There's not a lot of them left. I'll order them back. Mounted rifles, you are ordered to. I believe they have actually gone ahead and routed at this point. We lost a lot there. It did help out, and we did clear the ground. Currently, the enemy has only 27 men left compared to our 90. Yeah, 5th Company was forced to retreat. They did not heed my retreat. Alright, time to advance the troops. 1st and 2nd Company will advance to this point right here. And we'll hold off on moving the light and the grenadier until they've reached the point. Oh, we're out of howitzer shots. It looks like we've landed a few shots around this area. Quite a few shots landed over here. 1st and 2nd is now in place, so the lights will advance together with the grenadiers and take up better positions. At this point there's no point in having the howitzers in the field or in the way of fire, so we might draw them back. Let's go ahead and take a look here. So there's still 19 enemies ready. I can see concentrations of enemy troops. Might be that a lot of them might be behind the hill. It's not going to be accurate at that range. And there was a last shot. I can't even remember how I fired the... this one has a shotgun barrel underneath because it's the Lamate. Oh, I was too fast. And his stab was too slow. We've got one right here. He got shot. And is that victory? Not necessarily. There's still troops left. And they're behind the hill. I will order everyone to charge. And I hope this will work. Sometimes they have a tendency to move back once I order them to charge. Who's that all the way in the back there? Maybe not order the howitzer crew to charge. Right, my troops advancing, and we're about to clear this out. We're gonna pull down the flag and put up a French one. How many? There's still 9 enemies, according to this, that are ready. Definitely looks like there's more down there. Are they all retreating or anyone firing back? Oh, it's all artillery crew, right. Well then, victory has been achieved. And France has taken yet another fortification from the Prussians. Let's see if we can also fit a field battle into this video as well. In total, I lost 100 men out of my, 168 I think I had? 17 of those were killed, 73 wounded, 12 were routed. The enemy lost 168. Oh, the enemy had 168, where which 116 were killed, 51 were wounded, and 1 was routed. The remaining defenders have retreated to the castle as a last defense. You must go in and crush any remaining resistance. This is always weird, where the textures of the walls disappear. There's a single guy, and there's actually a wall there. Oh, there he goes. Oh, hey! We are victorious. Oh, by the way, if you don't remember, that is Florence Nightingale. Not entirely sure who the other one is. Clark Gable? Who knows? General Reinhardt. It is very good that you yield. I will take you as my prisoner. Relation has been deteriorated with the Kingdom of Prussia and Reinhardt. Enemies... no, will take no prisoners. And will I incorporate Bavarians into my army? Bavarian Jaeger. Bavarian Jaeger will join the light company, and howitzer crew will join the howitzer battery. So we have 2 Bavarians with us. Great. Potsdam muskets, definitely not what they had. We definitely need a pickle owl. Oh, I already had one? Let's take a silver one then. And yes, I already had one. A bit of a trophy. Sir, we have taken Mainz. Do you wish to award it to one of your vassals? Sure, but who? Someone that doesn't have enough. Everyone gets angry anyways, whoever I give it to. We'll give it to this guy. Maybe? He has a town. Maybe someone that only has... Oh, to myself, I have 2 towns and 50 villages. Let's just give it to this guy. There's so many people. And there's no way of knowing, like... There's a few that's quite unhappy with me. Victor Hugo is quite unhappy with me. One thing... Now, of course, the mod creator is currently doing Russian conscription. But he definitely needs to see... Once he gets back, he definitely needs to see over sort of molding. Now, he's done so much, which is great. But one thing that's really lacking is the way of turning the kind of feudal system that you have in Mount and Blade and turn it more to an army system that would sort of be more fitting for the time period, rather than these lords being vassals and so on and acting in such a way, instead being more like... I'm not entirely sure how one would do it, but mod it in a way that it would be more of a modern army rather than a medieval kind of vassal calling on my bannermen and so on type stuff. With that said, let's go ahead and find a field battle, but before, I imagine I would have to replenish my army. Venturing deeper into Prussian territory, we run into Krischenbach, General Krischenbach. He has about 130 soldiers, and I have then 190, so I have about 60 men more, which should make it quite an easy victory, hopefully. Let's see how the Prussians do in the field. If it wasn't clear, I wanted to fight you. Are you heap of filth? I'll make you wish you were never born, Ma. You blackguard. I certainly will cut you down. I have 187 troops against their 131. So, about 60 in that order. Let's go ahead and start a battle. It's very early in the morning. Let's go ahead and array the troops accordingly. Let's go ahead and set up the infantry battalions. And then, where do I have my howitzers? Looks like the Prussians are moving to the high area over here to put up defensive positionings. We're gonna draw on the cavalry to place them over here. Over behind the hills over there. My troops are setting up. My howitzers started blasting the enemy as they're moving into position. Who's that out running over there? And what is he doing? Is that one of the Bavarians? Who is that? And why is he running towards the enemy? It is the Bavarian. It's the Bavarian howitzer officer. Yeah, back to the line, you bastard. Oh, I think he might be... Oh, he's gonna defect to the enemy. Defectors will be shot. Oh, I think that's return fire from the Prussians. Sounded like it. I wonder how this will turn out. It's kind of dark, isn't it? Maybe I should lighten it up a little bit before we prepare our assault on the enemy. I've dispatched the troops. I'm putting the light infantry in the center, and then the infantry regiments on either side. I'm dispatching the grenadiers over to the right, together with the cavalry. We're gonna make a wide flank and try to get... Now, it's hard to maybe see at this range, but... Or maybe I should point at what I'm looking at. Looks like Prussian cavalry over there. That's on the high hill. I should be able to come through here unnoticed and attack them. So we'll pin the enemy, we'll front their attack, and then the grenadiers and the cavalry will swing in from the side and attack them. Not entirely sure why all the trees popped up all of a sudden. Let's see, so far we've only killed 4 enemies and they have wounded one of us. Oh no, I shot that guy. He was only wounded? Well, I guess I have to shoot him again then. We'll have to move our howitzers closer if we're gonna shoot like this. We've 30 shots left. I want the howitzers all the way to the front. Let's put them over there. Then we'll have the light troops advance a little bit further. Ah, rain. That makes misfires a certainty. And at the same time... You know what? I should have ordered the grenadiers already to march down and hide together with the cavalry. To hide down there. Right, the Prussians have started opening fire, and I can see casualties mounting on our side. Actually, the enemy has lost more. I guess we got a really good howitzer hit before, just before I moved the cannons. Right, first infantry company is opening fire on the Prussians. Oh, did I send... I think I sent the light infantry to the wrong location. They also took a massive hit there with... from a howitzer shot, so there's only 23 of them right now. Also, second company is in a weird angle. They should have an angle towards the enemy. No! Third company broke under that. Third company is broke. We need to rally them. Let's see if I can rally these guys. Get them to come back. Come back, hey, you cowards! Or I'll do to you what I did to the Bavarian. There. Yes. Rally the troops. I need you to get back into the action. We will not put you all the way to the front. Right. That back. Let's go ahead and take a look. We have 17 wounded, 3 dead. The enemy has 26 dead, 1 wounded. So far we still have a pretty good lead of 40 men. Let's go ahead and see how close my troops are over here. The grenadiers have moved pretty close. I think that the firing as they are now, they're probably not going to hit anything. They've lost 1 troop. I want them back here. And then I want the cavalry even further back here. So when I order the cavalry to charge, they'll be coming this way, riding into the enemy. And the grenadiers will do a similar attack. We'll move the grenadiers as close as we can. So my thinking is that we'll trigger the charge of the 2 hidden regiments over on the right. And as that is going on, I will order the main line forward and we will crush them while they're disoriented with all the enemy troops coming in. So they have lost 45 men, and we are definitely gaining here. I think what we'll do is we'll actually start off by moving these guys forward. So we'll do a jump forward to new positions. And as we do that, I will order, let's start with the Company 4, right? Company 4, I will order you to charge. So hopefully we'll see them. Oh yeah, I can see them. That's very light, but the grenadiers are now moving forward, shooting as they go towards the enemy. I want them to get closer though, before I trigger the cavalry. We can see the smoke. My casualties are gonna mount. Kind of strung out in a line like that. It's not the best form of attack. I think it's time to trigger the cavalry. Is this the right one? I think it's the mounted rifles. Yes, there we go. You know what? I should go over there and take a look what's actually going on, and organize the grenadiers to actually make a line here while the cavalry is distracting the enemy. Cavalry's going in. And as they're going in, that gives room for the grenadiers to advance, as we can see. Company 5, the dragoons, were forced to retreat. But they've made plenty of room now for the grenadiers, which I will order to stand line. Stand and make line. And then we'll break the enemy. Which, the enemy was actually already broken, more or less. Oh, there's some light infantry left. Kinda hard to see here with all the smoke. Certain point though, we'll be getting smokeless cartridges and it'll make it a lot easier. Oh, they still have some cavalry. Weren't ordered to charge though. Oh, we have some fighting back. All we need is just one man, John Rambo. French blood. Or I should say Prussian blood. So we beat the Prussians in the field. Their army destroyed. And victory is close at hand. With this, I think we should seek another fight. I think to stipulate goals for the end of the campaign, let's siege Berlin. And we need to fight at least one of their famous generals. So I think that will be the next video, and that will conclude this campaign. But with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and hopefully I will see you guys for the next one. Bye!